Hey, it's Ella from Spline. You may have noticed in our latest update, it allows designers to create apps without coding from scratch. And in this tutorial, I'll show you how you can export your interactive 3D designs as native 3D for iOS apps. Whether you're using cloud embeds or local downloads, your scenes will look and perform beautifully on any Apple device. So let's dive in and make your apps pop with some stunning 3D. To get started with testing your apps on your devices, you will need a free Apple ID. And to publish your app on the App Store, you will need to register with the Apple Developer Program. Also, in order to build your apps within Xcode, you might need a team ID. And of course, if you don't have it already, you will need to download and install Xcode. You can download the latest version of Xcode from the Mac App Store and download the latest or beta version of Xcode from the Apple Developer website. We have all of this linked down below in the description of the video, or you can find all of these links in the Spline docs. Now let's create an Xcode project and incorporate some 3D scenes from scratch using native 3D embeds with visionOS Runtime. Let's start by creating a new Xcode project from scratch. So here I will select App as the template, and I'm going to name this Spline Demo. You can select the team ID here, and here you can choose between the storage options. So for this example, I'll keep it set to none. Now let's click on Next, and now Create. All right, so our Xcode project is set up. So the next step is to add the Spline Runtime package. The Spline iOS Runtime is a set of tools that help your apps display interactive 3D designs created with Spline. It works with SwiftUI and Swift, which are programming tools used to build and design apps for iPhones and iPads. So when you integrate your Spline iOS Runtime, you're essentially adding the right tool to your app so you can show off your 3D designs and make them interactive. To add Spline Runtime via Swift Package Manager, let's go to the File and click on Add Package Dependencies. In the Package Finder, search for this URL, and then select Spline iOS. Now click on Add Package. Here on Add to Target, select your project again, and click on Add Package. Now we can see that the Spline Runtime has been integrated, and this is going to ensure that Xcode will run my Spline scene correctly. Now you need to make sure that you import the Spline iOS Runtime. So always add Import Spline Runtime to the top of the file where Spline Runtime is used. Now I'll use this 3D scooter to add to my app project. Let's go back into Spline, and from the top toolbar, press Export, and this will open the Export panel. Under Apple Platforms, let's select the Embed option. You can find the codes ready to copy and integrate into your scene. And below the code snippet, you can see the option to download your project and therefore embed it locally. Let's take a quick break to look at the differences between local and cloud embedding. For the cloud-based embed option, this requires an active internet connection as it loads the scene directly from a URL. The main advantage of a cloud-based embed is it automatically updates to the latest version of your file whenever you make changes in Spline and push update. This ensures that the user always sees the most up-to-date content without needing to manually update the app. However, for a local embed, this does not require an internet connection, since your scene will be directly within the app project. The scene is packaged as a .spline Swift file, which is stored offline within the app itself. So with this approach, again, you do not need to rely on an internet connection, and you will have faster loading times. Now going back and checking the other options, here you can choose whether to see the Spline logo or not. To disable the Spline logo, you need to have an active Super or Super Team subscription. And here you can evaluate your scene's performance within Spline and run a test. Spline provides detailed analytics and various optimization tools, allowing you to fine-tune your scene for better performance and for a smoother user experience. And in case you make changes to your scene and you want to see those updates on your app, all you have to do is come back here to the export panel and click on Update, and then those updates will automatically be made on your app. Now let's integrate this Spline scene using the cloud export. On the embed option, copy the code snippet and paste it into your content-view.swift file. Here you can select how to preview your app using a simulator inside your Mac, and choose between these options. Now we can run the project to view the app by clicking here, or you can connect your iPhone or tablet and run the application directly from your device. Now, in case you want to integrate your scene locally, all you have to do is click on the button, download the scene to local, below the snippet code to get a local copy of your Spline scene, as well as the .spline Swift file. Now you can just drag and drop the .spline Swift file into your Xcode project's root folder. In Add to Target, make sure to select your project. Now just click Finish. And quickly, let's comment out the fetching from the cloud code and uncomment the fetching from the local code. So as you can see, if you want to work with the cloud, you can simply uncomment the line under from cloud and comment out the line under from local. And if you want to work with the local option, uncomment the line from local and comment out the line from cloud. In this line of code, make sure to replace scene with the name of the .spline.swift file that you just downloaded from Spline. Here I'll delete scene and rename it to scooter_copy. Now we can see how it looks and run it in the simulator by clicking here. Then we can click Replace and Done. Now it's embedded locally instead of from the cloud, and it looks great. Another way to export your 3D content for Apple platforms is by generating a pre-built Xcode project directly from Spline, ready to publish in the App Store using our metal-based renderer. To use this option, from the top toolbar, press Export, and under Apple platforms, select the App option. Let's take a closer look at the settings here and what each one is for. And here you can upload a 1024 by 1024 image to use as your app icon. And then for app name, this is where you can name your app or your project. Here I'm going to call this Japan House. Bundle identifier is the ID of your organization or team. And here, this is your app version. And you can enter your team ID here. Here, you can select the way your Spline scene could be embedded. And this is the Xcode version that you need. And then moving on, you can enable or disable the Spline logo. You can define the orientation that your app will use. And here, define if your app has the status bar visible or hidden. And for a quick reminder, you can elevate the performance of your scene here. Now let's quickly generate an app using this option. I will use the cloud mode, and later I can show you how to switch this to local. Now let's press the Generate button. This is going to export a folder that we need to import into Xcode. So let's check on the downloads. Here it is. Let's unzip the folder. And this time I don't need to create a project because Spline already created one. I just need to open the existing project, select the unzip folder and click Open. Now click on Trust and Open, and now my project is being processed and built. And that's basically it. Again, we can choose a device simulator and click here to run the app. It's great to see how we can interact with the scene in the simulator. Now connecting my device, it also looks fantastic here. So say you want to replace a spline scene from a project created in cloud mode. You can simply copy the scene code from the Spline export settings in the embed option. So I can copy this build code here and then simply go to my Xcode project and simply paste it into this section of the code in content view. We can click on replace, and it looks like everything is going smoothly, and that's it. I've replaced the other house with this new design, which also looks very nice. Now let's use this mini game to generate an app project, but this time I'll choose the local option. I'm going to adjust my settings by adding my app icon and name. Let's just use mini game. I'll enter my team ID, and here we can keep the local options selected at this time. Click generate and unzip the downloaded folder so we can open it in Xcode like we did before. Now, if you look at your project and in content view, you notice that instead of a URL, there is a local copy of your Spline scene that has that .spline Swift file. This time, our scene is embedded in our Xcode project locally. So let's click here to run the mini game and see the preview. Awesome. Oh, and you can switch to the horizontal view mode here, which I think looks better. Cool, let's see how this looks on iPad. Okay, that looks pretty great. What if I want to tweak my scene and update it when I'm using the local mode? Let's say I want to make some color adjustments. So let's adjust my character's hair color, maybe something in the pink world. We can change the dress color and the shoes as well. I'll rename my scene to pink version so it's easier to find. And with these new colors, I'm ready to add this to our app. Now to the export panel, let's select the embed option. We can hit update here and then click download the scene to local. In your downloads, you'll have this .spline Swift file that we just need to drop into our Xcode project. In Add to Target, I select my project and click Finish. Now you can see my .spline Swift file here along the old scene. And here in my code, make sure that the name of the line of code has the same name as our new file that we want to display. So in this case, I want to show my pink version. Let's run the app again to see the updates. I'm going to hit replace. And there it is with the new hair color, dress, and shoes. Now that's how you replace one scene with another in local mode. In the export panel, we also have the option to export for visionOS, so you can interact and experience your 3D designs spatially on the Apple Vision Pro. Once your scene is complete, you can easily integrate it into the Xcode project using a Swift code snippet and through the app generation. Your scenes will load on Safari on the Vision Pro, just as you would expect on any other regular browser. However, to fully experience them spatially, you need to download Spline Mirror. This app is free and available only on the Apple Vision Pro. So Spline Mirror will allow you to interact with your 3D spatially on the Vision Pro. So not just as this flat window, but it will be a whole immersive experience. In our Spline docs, you'll find everything you need to start exploring and interacting with your designs in visionOS. We have the link for you in the description. Now you're all set to take your interactive 3D from Spline and export them as native 3D for iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and also for visionOS. For more details on publishing to the App Store, check out Apple's guide on distributing your app for beta testing and releases. Exporting for Apple platforms like visionOS and iOS is currently in beta and under development. We are continuously rolling out updates to ensure every feature becomes available. You can stay tuned to our Discord server for the latest updates, where developers are always welcome. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.